Why are we seeing a kind of uptick in aggressive Chinese actions in the region around the Taiwan Strait?
I think when China sees US actions in these spaces, it sees these as quite provocative. Sometimes the outrage that we see from the Chinese government to these things is kind of manufactured in a way that amplifies that outrage. Part of it is also legitimate outrage based on what China sees as its core interests and what it believes to be its kind of its sovereign interests in this case. I think the important thing to note here as well is that the countries who are experiencing this kind of behavior are now probably more incentivized to share information about when this does happen. There's kind of been a shift in position on the part of the US and its allies in the region to publicize this sort of behavior more broadly, to spotlight Chinese bad behavior or malign behavior. Whether or not this is going to stop it, I don't know. I don't think it will. A bit more thought has to be put to what you do operationally to try and ensure that these things don't kind of spiral out of control into a crisis if something goes wrong.
There's been an emphasis on allies and partners in the region to sort of provide this extended deterrence in Asia to prevent a conflict from happening. Can you kind of talk about the significance of this?
The military buildups that we're seeing amongst America's allies or partners in the region are primarily justified on the basis that they want to deter a conflict from occurring in the first place, which, if you unpack that a bit more, means that they want to deter China from seizing by force land features or territories in the region that, as I said before, it perceives that it has kind of sovereign jurisdiction over, or that it has historical claims to in the case of the South China Sea. But that said, if you're going to invest in a strategy of deterrence, you also have to be willing to countenance the possibility that conflict may eventually erupt, i.e. that deterrence may fail. So you're not seeing investments in capabilities purely for the sake of showing partners or adversaries in the region that you have a big military and that you can spend a lot. There has to be a smart investment.